4, Maggie McLean, her first team foul. At the line shooting for the Lady Panthers, the 32, Lily Gentry. Reroll number 4, Maggie McLean.
Hey, welcome to the halftime show, Phillip. And this is weird because we're doing it on Zoom. The weather has been frightful, of course.
I work 4 a.m. to noon at the prison in Chillicothe, and I left town this morning at 3 a.m. and the snow had just started falling.
4 a.m. in the morning, that's a grind, man. How does that affect your ability to do the PA announcing for instance, for North Central games?
Well, since all the games are usually in the evening or afternoon, I get off at noon, so it really doesn't affect me. The games are usually done by 9:30, so I get home at a decent time. And I even on the nights that I don't do games, I usually go to bed between 9 and 10. So
sure, yeah. How long have you been doing North Central games?
I'm not for sure. I want to say it's going on 6 years, maybe 5 or 6 years. I do so much stuff with announcing and stuff. I lose track of how long I've been anywhere. So right. I want to say it's been 5 or 6 years.
Okay. And so let's talk, before we get back to that, let's talk a little bit about where else you're working and what role you're working in.
Well, I started announcing, it was actually a year before I graduated in 1999. A buddy of mine was announcing at a dirt track in Winston called I-35 Speedway. And he's disabled in a wheelchair, so he has his disability. He had a car accident, and it makes it to where he can't sweat. So in the summers, he gets really hot up there announcing. So he asked me if I'd come help him, and I agreed. And I still remember my first night. I was so scared I didn't talk till intermission, and I got started announcing birthdays and just let it flow from there. And I started there in '99. And when I started with the Missouri Department of Corrections, I had to actually move on from announcing to another role there so I could leave early because I was working nights at the prison in Cameron at the time, and the races would get over, when I had to be at work or after I'd have to be at work. So I moved on from announcing to an official's role to where I could leave a little bit early and get to work on time. And then back in 2019, the owners called me and wanted to know if I'd be interested in coming back as an announcer because their announcer had moved on. So I went back into that role back in 2019, and the season starts March 12th and ends in October. So I have a long season of racing on Saturday nights coming up. So, and I've done about 2 seasons for the Chillicothe Mudcats baseball team. I did 1 season for the Chillicothe Swarm announcing, and I've done just for Green Hills Recreation Association. That's how I got noticed by Nate Gammett. He was there doing the books one day for my son's summer ball machine pitch tournament. And one of the ladies for Green Hills Rec had asked me if I'd, mind announcing. And I said I would. And Nate was there and heard me. And after the game, he talked to me and wanted to know if I'd be interested in announcing for the Pirates. And I used to go to all the Pirates games and listen to Steve Ockenfels when he was the announcer. So I said, sure, why not? And it's it's probably become my favorite sport to announce. I've been doing racing so long, and with racing, it's such late nights and having to be, I'm off Fridays and Saturdays at my normal job. And then I have to be in work on Sundays at 4 a.m. Sometimes I don't get home till 2 or 2:30 in the morning after racing. Wow. So I usually don't even go to sleep before I go to work. So
yeah, you'll know what I'm talking about here.
I also
go ahead. Sorry.
I said I also I took up baseball umpiring, and I also referee high school football in the fall. So pretty busy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that at one point you were refereeing. I knew you refereed football. Did you tell me you got out of it for a while, or are you still doing it?
Well, I started in 2019 with a crew, and when COVID came around and we had some crew members move on, our crew kind of disbanded. So I just did some JV games, mainly in Bethany here in Trenton on Monday nights, and then I got on with a crew at the end of this last season. And we did a lot of Southwest Livingston games, where Mac Anderson's from. Yeah. We did that crew done almost all their home games. And when I got on there, I think I did 2 of their home games and their district game and 1 game in Stewartsville. So I hope to be back on that crew this fall. So
right. How do you like baseball umpiring?
I like the umpiring. The announcing gets kind of boring at times, but with the Mudcats, they let me use the laptop, and I get to do, like, if the umpires are having a conference or the coach is having a conference with the pitcher, I can play like the Jeopardy music, stuff like that, and have fun with the crowd.
Yeah, you get to have a little bit more fun. And I know you'll know what I'm talking about here. There's a distinct difference between being, say, a TV announcer, a radio announcer, or PA guy. I could not do PA. I just, I don't want to hear what people are saying. But how do you? What makes the PA interesting to you? Why do you enjoy doing that so much?
I enjoy it. I'd like to try radio, TV, or even, Pirates digital media stuff. I'd like to try that sometime, but PA announcing, you're down there in the action, like you with Pirates digital media, you're clear up top, and, you're down there in the action, and like, you actually get to hear what the referees are saying to the people at the table and get to, relay that to the crowd. And, I try to make it fun. I think the other night, I can't remember if somebody hit a 3, and one of my key things I always say is 3 ball, and somebody on the student section had mimicked me, and I don't think they did it to be mean. I think they did it, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So
exactly.
They kind of sounded like me and did it how I did it, so I kind of took it as a compliment.
I know I heard one time that if Saturday Night Live does a parody of whatever you are, what you're doing, then you have arrived, you are successful. And that's exactly what they were doing. Yeah.
We talked about this when we did our first meeting. We did it just the audio only in your office, but, play-by-play announcing and PA announcing are completely different unless you go to St. Louis Community College and they have their PA announcer. He does play-by-play. I didn't know if he did that this year, though, because the girls only played. I didn't know if you went or not.
Yeah, I did go. And actually, in our post game, Jenny came up and said something about how the players had to adjust to that because they weren't used to a guy, doing that much descriptive announcing. And it's totally, I'm going to go off on my soapbox here, but totally inappropriate. And I don't know how he gets away with it.
I honestly don't know how the referees don't make them stop doing that. But, yeah.
In fact, when we were there that Saturday for the women's game, I think that now Jenny said she didn't know anything about it, but I think the referees did go up to him and tell him to stop doing something. We're way on the other side, but anyway. So where did you learn the PA announcing quote unquote rules? Where did you learn to do it?
Just from watching TV, and I kind of just taught myself, and, all those years listening to Steve Ockenfeld, when he did the Pirates games and stuff, it's just kind of self-taught, and, going back to doing play-by-play announcing while they're trying to play, I think, it was either the last game or the game before with the men. I, was kind of late announcing who was shooting the free throw. And it was Cam Bevel. And as I was announcing, he shot his free throw. He just kind of gave me a look. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble now. So I didn't mess him up. He made the free throw. So
see, that's exactly why I don't want to do PA announcing. I don't want to get that immediate feedback from the crowd. I'll wait till get the emails and stuff later.
See, I get nothing but compliments from the crowd, and Dr. Lenny Claver, he always comes up and tells me how good of a job I'm doing, and Nate and all them, they're great to work with. So sometimes the fan in me comes out, especially like when our coaches get teed up or we think the refs aren't calling the game right. And I have said a few things in the past. And of course, Dr. John Holcomb told me I can't do that. I got to be unbiased. And Nate told me I had to be unbiased. But sometimes it's kind of hard. The fan in me wants to jump out. So, I try to get my kids or my girlfriend to holler, and, I got to thank my girlfriend. She does a lot for me. She makes up my sheets with all the rosters, prints them off, makes sure I have everything ready to go when she's there. So my girlfriend, Rebecca, she's a great help. I love her. So want to thank her for that. And
that's tremendous. Okay. Just a couple of quick hitters here. Okay. What's your best memory of a men's moment? Probably the year that the gym was just packed, and I think we beat Arkansas Mid-South to go to the national tournament. That was just great. I love it, like when the student section was packed the other night, and I thought that fake pirate they had was actually a kid. I'm like, man, he's been standing up this whole game. Yeah, I know who you're saying. How about
I walked over there and seen it was fake. I'm like, I thought that was real.
What about on the women's side? What's the best memory?
just anytime that they get the win, especially against St. Louis Metropolitan, Jenny's always had a good team, and her and Jeremy and Leslie and Coach Lavery, they're all great coaches, and I just love to watch them coach. I coached a year of basketball in the winter with my daughter, and I thought I'd start yelling out plays that Jeremy always calls, and I'd confuse the kids, but no, I just enjoy it. It's just thrilling to watch these girls and men play, and anytime you can watch them in the national tournament or to play for the national tournament, which I can't remember if the girls have actually played a play-in game or anything at NCMC where I've announced. So, just anytime watching the girls beat Metropolitan or St. Louis, their rivals, is great. So,
yeah. Hey, thank you so much for doing this. It's been fun.
Hey, man, not a problem. Anytime.